When someone went out of their way to screw up my life twice, when things were said about me which were not even true, when people would bully me, they would judge, I chose to be bulletproof. Now, when you go through situations in your life, when you go through failures or these events, you choose to be either fragile or you choose to be bulletproof. In this video, I'm going to straight up change your mind which dwells upon the unhealthy criticism, the mind which constantly complains, the mind which guides you to do all the wrong things, knowing what's right, the mind which tells you, hey, you cannot do it. I had gone through some sort of a trauma in my life when I was 16, 17 years old. I remember I was sitting in my class and there were 70 students around me. A lecture was going on, the teacher was there. I was sitting with someone. I started to cry in the middle of the class. I just could not control. Whatever had happened with me had happened recently, and I couldn't control. I started crying and crying and crying. If I get a chance right now, I could go back and slap that girl, to be very honest with you. But that was a moment of weakness. That young girl crying was hoping and expecting that someone would come to her and tell her, hey, I know that you're not wrong. I know you're not someone people say you are. Don't worry, it's not your fault. I mean, that was me trying to seek validation or expecting someone to come and tell them, hey, you I'm not someone what you think I am. Don't judge me like that. That was a moment of my weakness. That's why I believe I was crying. And that's the day I thought to myself, there are two paths given to me. One path is where I keep on seeking this validation, expectation from people that they would come to me and try to care us and try to console me and tell me, hey, what happened? Or I know that you're not wrong, and try to understand me. But all they were trying to do is that talk behind my back and put me down whenever they get a chance. At least some of them. And or I could choose a mindset which is so resilient that it bounces every bullet. Now, how do you build this mindset? Before I tell you that, I want you to imagine, think about your pain, your failures, someone who has if betrayed you, the unhealthy criticism you have gone through or you're going through, someone who's assuming about you. I want, if these are events in your life happening or happened or you're not able to forget about them, I want you to think of yourself as a gold bar. A gold bar, which when goes through a refining heating process, comes out as the most valuable asset ever, as the best version of it. You need to think of your failures, your pain as the refinement process for you to be able to meet your best version on the other side. For you to be able to gain that wisdom, those failures are a chance for you to gain wisdom so that tomorrow you can tell someone who is in need, who's in help. Hey, you see, the other side is unbelievably beautiful. The other side is unbelievably beautiful that I am able to meet the version I never thought I could be, you know. And that's how you think of yourself. Now, second of all, when you are thrown in a situation like this, when you are placed in a situation like this, what you need to do, pause, stop, pause for a moment. When someone is trying to put you down, someone is trying to deliberately do something to just irritate you or something, judging you or whatever, think for a moment that what will happen to my next few seconds, to minutes, to days, to weeks, to months, to years if I dwell upon it? What are the consequences I'm going to face? What will happen to my productivity? How much unnecessary conflicts is going to create in my own mind? How much negativity is going to spread in my life? You think that allowing those judgments or those narratives in my space will give me nothing but only and only a waste of my time. I'm not going to allow that in my space. You know why? Because the judgment is not even my problem. That's why. Think about your consequence, what you are going to go through, what your mind is going to go through. Think about that. I've seen so many people trust me, telling me, I believe in me. Affirmations are good. You get up in the morning, you have these long list of things. I believe in me, I believe in me. But what is the next thing you do when you are actually in that situation? You start complaining about it, right? You start talking about it. You're not the way you are repeating your affirmations. Why don't you repeat your actions? Your actions means so for example, if you say, suppose you're going to close a deal, you're going to close a transaction with a client. You tell yourself, I'm going to do it. And then how you do it? You take action, then you do it, right? It doesn't happen by itself. You take action, you work, your actions are aligned to what you have just affirmed. And the result is aligned as per that. So, same way, that is how a mindset also shifts. Same way, whenever you are placed in a situation like this, you're thrown in a situation like this is a chance for you to practice that mindset, to implement and to take action every second time, to think and pause for a moment and think about it, that hey, I am not going to allow this in my space, because I'm not going to lose a week's time for what you just told me. I'm not going to do that to myself. No, because it's not even my problem. You waste a week or two or a month or whatever because of what someone had said to you, and you keep talking about it and you keep allowing that thing to enter into your space more and more, that narrative to enter into your subconscious more and more. You dwell into it so much that stand up for what's right. Stand up for what is right and what's your right. But do not dwell upon it. A bulletproof mindset is not what you really think. It's not being in ignorance state. It's not being in an arrogance kind of state. Hey, I don't care what you say. No, it's not like that. It's to be aware and to be so mentally tough. It's to be aware of what to let in and what not to let in. You should be so mentally strong that you know when to open the door and when to close the door. There are people in your life, there are people in my life, who, in everybody's life, I believe, who are maybe smarter than you, experienced than you, and are genuinely good. They're genuinely good people. They want your good. They will tell you, hey, you're wrong here. Do like this, don't do like that. Because they want your good. You have to listen to them. I've seen so many people, to be honest, in my life who are in some sort of an ignorance state. They think that they can always be right. They don't want to listen. Even if someone is trying to tell them that, hey, this is not right, this is wrong. This is how you're supposed to do it, but they are in a state of ignorance and they don't want to listen, and you will not improve if you do that. You have to know when to let in and when to close the door. Now, past conditioning. Remember when someone told you, hey, don't keep your hair like that. Don't sit like that in front of that person. Don't talk too much. Talk how much is required. What are these? Past conditioning, which are external voices only. This is not you. These external voices have stopped you from meeting your best self. This conditioning, so when you're growing up, you keep hearing these things. It keeps getting settled in your mind. It keeps getting ingrained in in your brain. And whenever you have to speak up somewhere, whenever you have a chance to voice your opinion, whenever you have to give a presentation, you have to speak up in a meeting, it shows when you're not able to speak up. It shows when you're not able to voice your opinion. It shows every time when that happens. And those voices are pulling you back, because that's past conditioning. These are the things you need to understand, that these are only external voices. These are voices which you need to shoot down. How you shoot them down? When your mind says, hey, they might not like you. You know what you say? You say that I'm not here to audition either. It's okay. When your mind says, you might mess it up. You know what you say? You say, just wait and watch. Wait and watch how I'll get it done. Your mind and you are actually a one. Both of you want good for yourself. But if your mind is an enemy, it's a battle there. So how do you make it one? Is you make it one by shooting these voices down till these voices are crumbling into tiny particles and they just fade away and vanish, and your actual good side of your mind becomes a dominant and the only side, and you know what's right and what's wrong. That's how you kill your weak thoughts. That's the only way you kill your weak thoughts. So I really hope this video helps you. I really hope that next time if you're going through some pain, I really hope that you understand that it's just a chance for you to go through this process where you're going to come out the most beautiful, the most wise version, I would say rather, of yourself. And you get a chance to tell other people the lessons, tell other people that, hey, it's okay. They're going to be okay. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then,